What is up, you guys? For today's video, we are going to be testing out the Melt Cosmetics Impulsive Palette, and I know this palette has been out for a hot minute, and I'm definitely late to the party on it, but they recently had a really good sale during Mother's Day weekend, and this palette was on sale for $30, and it's normally $65, and I saw that, and I was like, girl, I need that as soon as possible. And what really caught my eye about this one was the color story. Like, the colors in here are totally up my alley. Like, they're very grungy, and you also get a lot of cool tones in here. But before we jump into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on my Instagram page, it is at @lethal_kitten. As always, before we use the palette, we gotta prime our eyelids first, and I'm just going to be using my favorite, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. So the palette that we are going to be trying out today is the Melt Cosmetics Impulsive Palette, and I know this palette has been out for a hot minute and I'm really late to the party on this one, but this one went on sale for $30 during their Mother's Day sale, and I was like, a $65 Melt palette for $30? Sign me up as soon as possible. But in all seriousness, what really made me want this palette is not only the $30 price tag. I mean, like, $30 for a Melt palette though, that's a really good price. But I just love the color story of it. I thought it was really fun. And don't get me wrong, like, I have this whole side essentially in all of my other Melt palettes because I do own most of their palettes. But this side right here with all the cool tones, like, they just caught my eye, especially these like two purpley blues. I thought they were really unique. So when I first got this palette though, like, I was really shook as to how weighted it is. Like, it is kind of heavy. Like, you could definitely clobber somebody over the head with it. You know, it's kind of like a brick. But I will say though, nonetheless, I think it's going to be a really fun palette to try out today, and I have a really cool look I want to do with it. But the first shade that I want to go in with is a really bright green called Game Changer. Then using this Anastasia A10 brush, I'm just going to be popping this into my crease in the outer half of my eye, and then also using it to round out my outer V. And when I'm doing this, I'm doing like little tiny circular motions to blend that upwards towards my brow. So I'm just going to start building up this color to get it to look like it does in the pan. But oh, she is pigmented and just really blending out super nice. And also with this color, I am blowing it out really far because I do want to do something really dramatic today. So once I have that applied and blended out, the next shade that we're going to be going in with is this kind of like burgundy brown shade called Boss Lady. And I'm just going to use this Profusion Firm Blending Brush. And I'm going to be packing it on the lid in the outer third of my eye. And keep in mind, I only want these colors in the outer half of my eye. I don't want them in the inner half because we're going to be applying other colors there in a minute. Okay, but like, real talk though, like, the pigmentation on that shadow is insane. Like, that was only one dip. I'm kind of curious what a second dip is going to be. Oh yeah, like, that shadow, she is pigmented. And I'm just kind of wondering why I haven't seen more people talk about this palette. Because I looked on YouTube and a lot of people just don't really use this one, and I wonder why. Because so far, like, the pigmentation seems really nice on it. And then using that brush that we applied the green shadow with no additional product on my brush, I'm just kind of like kissing the edge of that dark brown. I'm doing these little circular motions just to help it blend into that green. But like, seriously, like, why isn't nobody talking about this palette? Like, the mattes so far, like, they're really, really nice. And like, I mean, like, seriously, like, look at that pigmentation though. Now this next step is where this look is going to start taking a turn and just get a little bit more on the interesting side. And we're going to go in with this beautiful purpley blue duochrome called Crossfaded. And then using a damp and flat shader brush, I'm going to be packing it right next to that brown in the center half of my lid. And I am leaving like a little bit of a gap here too, just for the inner corner. But oh my gosh, like, that shade is so pigmented. But seriously, I am so shook about this purple though. Like, it is a gorgeous shadow. It's kind of like a dark royal purple, and then it has like a little bit of a blue duochrome on top. It's a really cool looking shade. And I just love it next to that green and kind of like burgundy that we have going on. And then with whatever is left on my brush, I'm slightly bringing it into my crease. Just a little bit, and I'm also slightly overlapping it with that chocolatey brown, just to help get a really nice seamless blend. And then using that brush that we applied that green with, I'm just going to take whatever's left again on that brush and slightly go right above that purpley shade, just to help it blend into everything. I'm just doing like these little tiny circular motions. I'm kind of feeling like Beetlejuice though right now, like, low key, and I am not mad about it. That is literally one of my all-time favorite movies. So the next shade that we are going to be going in with is one of those ones that really catches my eye every time I open up this palette, and that is this beautiful coral shimmer shade called Go Getter. So I've never used this brush for this, but this one's from Moda. It might be like a little too big. I guess we'll try it. Kind of see what happens. But I'm just applying this to the rest of my lid in this inner fourth of my eye, and then slightly bringing it up into my crease. I'm also overlapping it with that purple shade. Yeah, I'm just not vibing with this brush. Like at first I was like, oh, it's gonna fit perfectly in that inner corner and make it really easy to apply. But she's just too thick and big, and that is what she said. So take two, let's use this brush from Lavish. This is an eye shading brush. I actually really like these Lavish brushes. I think they're really nice. And I'm just gonna be packing this shade on the lid in the inner fourth of my eye. And then I'm slightly bringing it up into my crease. And I'm also slightly overlapping it with that purpley shade that we just applied. This is definitely a different type of color combination for me. I don't know if I've ever done these types of colors together, but I just wanted to try something different today and kind of experiment with makeup. Like that, I love this like pinky color though next to that purple. I think they look really cool. So to help me blend that pinky shimmery shade into my crease just a little bit better, I'm gonna go in with this like orangey shade called Rule Breaker. So using this Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush, I'm taking the smallest amount of that shadow that I can and going right in my crease and overlapping slightly with that pink shimmer. And then I'm also blending it into that green kind of like situation right in here. And when I'm doing this, I'm doing little tiny circular motions. I seriously cannot stress enough though, you do not want a lot of pigment on your brush because we do not want an orange moment here. We just want to help further blend in that pink shimmer. And I'm just going to go back in with that pink shimmer shade and bring back the intensity of it. So for liquid liner today, I'm just going to use this one from Morphe. It is the Felt Tip Liquid Liner in the shade Ink. And then for mascara today, I'm just going to go in with this one from Maybelline. It is the Falsies Lash Lift. I love this one. I think it's really good. If you're looking for a really nice drugstore mascara that gives you a lot of volume, definitely recommend trying this one. So for lashes today, I'm going to go in with these ones from Morphe. I've never used them before, and oh my gosh, like the name of these is so cringy. Like I can never say this and sound cool. And they're in this style Yas Queen, like Y-A-S-S Queen. Let me bless your ears with this one, but Yas Queen. Like, you see what I mean though? Like, it just doesn't fit me. Like, a lot of people, like, they can say it and it sounds really cool for them, and like, you can just like sense the bouginess. But for me, it just doesn't work. Like, I just sound real dumb and really out of place. You know, at first I was really hesitant about those lashes. I thought they were gonna look super thick and just really weird on me. But you know, honestly, after getting them applied, I think they look really pretty. They have like a fluttery, kind of like volumized effect. Like they're a full-on mood. But I don't know, like so far I'm really loving this look and I cannot wait to see what it looks like once we get the full glam on. But off camera, I'm just gonna quickly clean things up a little bit. As you can tell, I got some fallout on my face and we need to kind of like get rid of it, as well as apply my complexion products, and then I'll be right back to finish up the look. So here's where I'm at right now after applying my complexion products, and now we're gonna go in with lipstick. And I got this one from Melt during the sale as well, and it is the matte lipstick in the shade On The Go. And I feel like this one's gonna go really well because it's kind of like a mauve, but it has a little bit of warmth to it. So now we're gonna start working on the lower lash line, and I think I want to try out this green shade called Profesh. And then using this Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush, I'm just going to be applying it and smoking it down in the outer third of my lower lash line. And when I'm applying it, I'm just doing these little back and forth motions. And then for the rest of the lower lash line, I'm just going to use that shade that we used earlier called Crossfaded. Then using this teeny tiny little Morphe blending brush of the Holiday Eye Set, I'm just going to be popping this right next to the green. So the inner half of the lower lash line. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit more of Go Getter, that pink shimmer shade that we used earlier, on this little Lavish brush that we used with it. And I'm just packing it right in this inner corner. And I'm also bringing it underneath the inner tear duct area to open up the eye. So now we're going to do my absolute favorite part, which is the inner corner highlight. And you could go in with a shadow out of this palette, but honestly, I want something a little bit more on the funky side. So we're actually going to be going in with this Colourpop Super Shock highlighter, and this one is in the shade Over the Moon, and it's kind of like a pinky purple duochrome. And using this pencil brush from Moda, I'm going to be packing the shit out of this into my inner corner. And I'm also slightly bringing it underneath the inner tear duct area to open up the eye. Definitely leans a little bit more on the purple side, but it still looks super, super sick. Like, I really love that with the pink. So I'm just going to do a second layer just to make sure it's super amplified and extra sparkly. Oh, it looks so cool. I know this isn't going to be for everybody. Like the whole look is definitely like a little bit out there. But I don't know, like I really love that inner corner highlight. Like I think it looks super cool. So for the waterline, I'm just going to go in with this pencil from Morphe. It is in the shade Bar, which is like a coffee brown. So for blush today, I'm actually going to go in with this palette from Morphe. It is the Cool Pro 8C, and I'm going to go in with this kind of like brighter pink one called Free. And then using this angled brush from BH Cosmetics, I'm just going to be stippling it right on my cheekbone. But ooh, I love this palette. I haven't used it in a while, but man, like, the color is really, really beautiful. And then for highlighter today, I'm just going to go back in with that one from Colourpop called Over the Moon. And I'm just going to be stippling this right on top of my cheekbones and kind of overlapping it with the blush. But ooh, like that is such a cool highlight color. It's kind of like a pinky purple. It really reminds me of Ethereal out of the Dream Glow kit from Anastasia if you've ever tried that one. But yeah, so here's the finish, like using the Milk Cosmetics Impulsive Palette, and I gotta say, I actually really like how this turned out. It's a little bit different for me, but I love that it's very like bright, yet it kind of has like a grungy feel and also like a little bit of an earthy undertone. I don't know, I think it turned out really cool. Anywho, so let's talk about the packaging of this palette. I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys. Like this palette is a brick. Like you could definitely like clonk somebody on the head with it. Like it's just really massive. But I will say it is really unique. I've never seen anything like it before. Because when you open it up, it looks like this. But I don't know if you guys can see. But the edges, like the shadows, they kind of have like different tiers. So it kind of looks like they're on different like steps in a way. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks super cool in person. I'm hoping that this angle shows it a little bit better, but you can kind of see the shadows themselves are on like these little steps. It looks really cool, but honestly, at the same time, it makes this palette super bulky. As for the formula of the eyeshadows, honestly, I really love them, and they remind me of all of the other Milk Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection. So the mattes in here are very pigmented and very easy to work with and blend out. Like if you're a beginner, you will have no problems with the shades that I use today. And the shimmers in here, they're just super sparkly and they have a really nice buttery feel to them. And also they have like a little bit more dimension to them, so they have a really cool effect on the eyes. To me, the biggest disadvantage of this palette though is that there isn't a lot of mattes in here, and also most of the mattes in here are very warm toned, so they kind of don't go that well with the colors over on this side, because I mean like this whole side is like super cool toned and very purple, whereas this side is a little bit more on the warmer side. And I would have just loved to see, you know, like some gray mattes or even some like darker purples. I feel like it would have really made this palette a little bit extra special. So when it comes down to it, would I recommend the Milk Cosmetics Impulsive Palette to you guys? And honestly, I definitely recommend checking it out. Whether you like the color story of it, you love the cool tone side, or if you just want to try something a little bit different from them, I think you're going to really love this one. And I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. This side right here is in a lot of their other palettes. You know, if you already have like the Gemini palette, the 420 palette, Rust, or even Vita, you probably already have shades very similar to those. So I would actually pass on this palette unless you want the cool tones. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this look, and also let me know if you'd like to see more looks using this palette. But as always though, I would really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on Instagram, it is @lethal_kid. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!